What is up, bookworms and constant readers? Welcome back to the channel. As promised, today is Tuesday, December 7th, and it is my fall book haul. I have a little over 20 books to go through. These are books that I have bought during the fall season, and I will probably limit book haul videos to every 3 months. It really depends on how the rest of grad school goes. If you watch my last video, you know that the reading and the classes for grad school was not easy this semester. That's why I didn't do any videos for so long. The only reading I was doing was reading for school. But I did continue to buy books. So let's get started on all the new books I got. And again, I have bought more books than this, but I try and limit the books for my book haul to just books that will eventually appear on the channel. To start things off, I do watch a lot of news, and I like to look at what the people that come on the news programs, they're usually in front of a bookshelf similar to like what I am now, and I like to look at their bookshelves and see what smart people are reading. It's not easy to get a PhD, and most of these people that come on, they have PhDs. They're usually college professors and whatnot. And so one that I've seen on a lot of bookshelves is this one by Jonathan Eig, I think is how you say his name. E-I-G. I've never heard of him. Evidently he's written books about other famous people that are really good. And this one is Ali. And as you can tell from the cover, it's about Muhammad Ali. They did, as you can see, they got one of those stupid advertisements that if you're a long-time subscriber, you know I absolutely hate. It ruins the cover of a really cool book. But evidently this was a PBS documentary about Ali. It gets mixed reviews. Some people say that it's great. Other people are saying that a lot was left out. I'll see whenever I get to it. And then along the same lines, this author was actually on a news program, and she talked about this book. It sounded interesting, so I picked it up. It's Tamron Hall, As the Wicked Watch. And this is kind of like a crime novel. And from her interview, it sounded like she was going to turn this into a series that would be very similar to like the Alex Cross series, or if you are familiar with CJ Box, he does, I can't think of the guy's name now, but he does a series with a game warden. So it's going to be something similar to that. And this is the first book in that series. Moving on, the new Star Wars book came out. Thrawn, Ascendancy, Lesser Evil by Timothy Zahn. Timothy Zahn is like the Thrawn expert. He's written numerous books, old canon and new, about Grand Admiral Thrawn. This is actually the third book in his new Thrawn trilogy. I haven't read the first two yet. But usually anything Timothy Zahn does is really good, especially his Thrawn books. This next one is part of, you can find it on, I believe it's Goodreads. You might have to dig for it because I found it around Halloween. They do like the top like horror novels that you should be reading. And so I started buying, they have it in two different sections. They have the adult and then the YA books. I've been buying a little bit of both. There's a lot of books on this list that I've never read, but they sound really good. And this is one of them. I don't have with me like the list and how they are in order, but they were ranked in order for each year, and I think it went back like 3 years or so. But this is Bret Easton Ellis's American Psycho. I have seen the movie with Christian Bale. I love it, but I've never read the book. So it'd be interesting to see how the movie and the book compare. If you've seen the movie and read the book, let me know in the comments down below what you thought. Does the movie follow the book, or are they totally different like most book to movies are? This next one is from the YA list. Burn Our Bodies Down by Rory Power. And this is about a girl who she goes back to her hometown and she finds out that there's a reason why her mother left this town. Evidently there's a lot of dark secrets and a lot of dark past that she digs up in Burn Our Bodies Down. The next one was recommended to me by one of the booksellers at Barnes and Noble when I bought, what book did I buy? Oh, it's coming up. I bought the Empire of the Vampire book. And this is by Alex E. Harrow, The Once and Future Witches. It sounded really good. The cover is super cool. I love the cover of the book. It continues on the spine. I don't remember now exactly what it is about. I mean, obviously it has to do with witches. This next one is from that Goodreads list that I was just talking about. My wife told me that this was a movie. I had no idea. But it's The Virgin Suicides by Jeffrey Ugandes. I guess that's how you say his name. If I'm saying it wrong, please correct me. And look at the cover on that. It's simple, but it's very cool. And these are all like horror and thriller type novels. This next one, again, it's off of the Goodreads list. House of Hollow by Crystal Sutherland. And again, this one has a beautiful cover. I mean, look at that cover. That is just amazing. I love the cover of this book. And a lot of these, like, I don't know what they're about. They were just on that list. I'm always looking for new horror novels to pick up, and especially female authors. This next one, I have heard nothing but good things about this book. It's J. Kristoff, Empire of the Vampire, and this cover is incredible. Look at that cover. Just an amazing cover. Spine. It's got illustrations inside. Just an amazing job on these inserts and the cover. This one I didn't know until after I bought it. It's actually a signed edition. So that was kind of surprising. It didn't have any stickers or anything on here that alluded to it was a signed edition. Very cool. I can't wait to read that one. I've heard nothing but good things about it. The next two are related. So if you've been a subscriber, you know that I started the Expanse series. And when I started, there was 8 books, and they were talking about doing a 9th. And it has finally come out, but before that, they released this super cool 10th anniversary edition of Leviathan Wakes by James S.A. Quarry. It's got hot pink pages on the outside. Very cool stuff on the inside. It's got a map of the solar system and where everything is at. Very, very cool edition. I've already read this book, but with this edition, I had to buy it. It really doesn't go with my set because the set I have are paperbacks, but with a cover and edition that cool, I had to get it. And then that brings us to book number 9. James S.A. Quarry, Leviathan Falls. And if none of you have heard of this story before, James S.A. Quarry is actually 2 writers. A lot of people say that this is like one of the greatest sci-fi stories that have been told. The first book was amazing. Go check out my my review of book 1. It was super fun to read. All of the covers, no matter if you get the hardback like this one or the paperback, they have these wraparound, like panoramic covers on them. Just really incredible covers on these books. And my only complaint is how they look on a shelf. And I don't know if they did it with the hardback or if it was just the paperback, because I've seen other YouTubers who have this whole set and they've got the author's name in big print and then the title in this small print. And on the paperbacks, I think it's like the first 2 or 3, you have the title of the book in the big print and the author in the small print. So when you put them on a shelf, it doesn't quite look right. And that's kind of irritating. Yeah, see, like this one, the 10th anniversary, it has the book title in this big print. And the author is a little bit smaller, but on the paperbacks, it's even smaller than this. This book I learned about in that history class that I'm taking, the history of energy. We read a book that dealt with slavery, and this was one of the books that was recommended that was similar. This is Walter Johnson's Soul by Soul, Life Inside the Antebellum Slave Market. The cover is a building in Louisiana that is still standing. You can take a tour through this building. This is where all of the slaves were auctioned off during slavery. They actually had rooms set up for these slaves, and they were basically like showing off what they were good at. It's horrible. And this tells the story of that Louisiana slave market. The next one, a little bit more upbeat. I don't know if I ever mentioned it on the channel, but I am a huge Foo Fighters fan. They are my favorite band that is currently performing. My favorite band of all time is Led Zeppelin, so they're very similar. And this is Dave Grohl's The Storyteller, Tales of Life and Music. It doesn't look like a very big book, but this thing has got some weight to it. And I think there's a picture section. Okay, there's no picture section, but there are pictures throughout the book. If you have a Sirius XM, you may have known back in October, Foo Fighters had their own channel, and what got me to buy this book was they read, they played portions of the audiobook, which is read by Dave Grohl, and it may end up being the first audiobook that I ever buy, just to hear him read the book, because of what I heard on Foo Fighters radio. Alright, moving on. This is another one of those good read books. It's by Katrina Leno, and it's called Horrid. And again, look at that cover. Like, these books have such amazing covers. I can't get over how these YA books have such amazing covers. This is a series that one of my classmates told me about, because they found out that I liked horror novels. And you can find this on Amazon. If you have a Kindle, you can buy the entire series. I think it's like $140 for, I think it's 33 books. And this is book one. I don't remember the name of the series, but it's all about haunted houses and stuff. And so this is book one. This doesn't have an author's name on it. Roger Hayden, The Haunting of Bechdel Mansion. And these all have really cool covers like this that show these houses that could totally be haunted. This is another one from the Goodreads. Again, this is a book that I've seen the movie, but I've never read the book. This is Philip K. Dick, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? And this was the inspiration for the Blade Runner films. Has a very cool cover. You can see the face in the cover. Very cool. It's not a very thick book. But yeah, I've seen the movie, never read the book. This is a book that I saw at Target during Halloween. It was super cheap, so I picked it up. This is another book about witches. The Year of the Witching by Alexis Henderson. And again, it has a great cover. And if this was a shorter list, I might go through and read the synopsis on what these books are about. But this video would be forever long. This is another one I picked up. I have a couple of his books. Stephen King is always raving about his books. I picked this one up because it was so cheap, and it was also at Target. Bentley Little, The Store. And this one sounded really interesting because it's about this retail store, and this guy's daughter goes to work at this store, and they find out that there's some really like terrifying shit going on in this store. The next are all Stephen King books. I finally got The Dark Tower on paperback. So I picked up, and these all have great covers. The Wind Through the Keyhole, which is, I think, book 4.5 in the series. It came out after the series was finished, but chronologically it falls between, I think, book 4 and book 5. Then I got the last book, The Dark Tower. And then Song of Susanna, which is book 6. And then Wizard and Glass. If you've never read the Dark Tower series, I highly recommend it. People bitch about the ending a lot, and whenever I get to the Dark Tower series, I'll talk about that because I don't think they have a right to bitch. And then I got this book because this guy has actually written a series of books with Stephen King, and this sounded really good, so I picked it up. And it's Richard Chismar, Chasing the Boogeyman. Again, another amazing looking cover. This is one of those writers that I pick up, just because their work with Stephen King or Stephen King recommended them. That was the final book for the fall book haul. If you've read any of these, let me know in the comments below. If you've seen the movies that some of these books have been turned into. Do they follow the book? Do they not follow the book? How are they different? Comment below. I answer pretty much all comments. There's a few that I don't pay attention to. And if you're watching this, I'm talking about the James Bond video. I mean, it's apples to oranges, really. What you're talking about, I get your point, but okay, who cares? But yeah, that's all I got for you. I'm hoping within the next 2 weeks I'll have another book review out on the first book I'll be reviewing is Full Moon, which is book 2 of the Dresden Files. I hope to get that done next week or the week after, because this is the last week before finals, and I have basically 2 classes left that I have to worry about, because I finish up one class tomorrow, and then I have to worry about final exam for one class, and then I have to write a 20-page paper for the history class. That's all I got for you. That wraps up the fall book haul. The winter book haul will be coming up probably sometime in February or March. Hopefully this next semester gives me time to read stuff that I want to read and not stuff that I'm made to read, and I'll have a lot more videos coming out. When I do the Dresden Files Book 2, I will talk about what the next book is going to be. I do have kind of books laid out on what I want to read over the winter break. So yeah, until next time, read more books.